30 seconds and counting. 25 seconds and counting. We are still go. 20 seconds. Guidance alert. The guidance system now going internal. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. I apparently was sorry. I was unaware of the fact that I should have been live, so I apologize for that. But here I am. It looks like the introduction did a little bit of a skip on us. That was interesting. Never had that happen before, but never mind. Technical stuff, it just happens. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if there are any issues with the volume. That is our Achilles heel that we run into from time to time here. But I hope everybody is doing well. Welcome to the Angry Astronaut Alien Enthusiasts, where it's been a long time since we've watched UFO footage on this channel, and that's what we're going to do today. Our fantastic friend Jenined, if you're not familiar with him, just go ahead and Google him. You'll find his YouTube channel. Please subscribe to Jenined's channel, and keep in mind that he is 100% Patreon supported because YouTube demonetized him long ago, and so the only way he makes a living is off of Patreon, and he's got lots of awesome UFO footage that he has put together from all over the world as part of his channel. So and he's giving us carte blanche to use this particular video of his, this volcanoes and UFOs video, as much as we want today. Thank you so much, Airborne Bob, for your support. Real quick before we get started, I want to let you know that I'm leaving for London in just a few hours. I need to grab a cab to Denver International Airport as soon as this broadcast is completed, and I'll be heading to London to cover the SpaceCom 2026 conference, which will be covering a lot of European space flight stuff, and I'm looking for updates because there should be a launch taking place this year from Shetland, from Saxeford Spaceport in Shetland, at least one. So I'm looking forward to it. Oh, where's everybody checking in from too? Please let me know where you're watching from, and then we're going to go ahead and get this UFO footage going in the as well, as we continue, or rather, as you guys let me know where you're watching from. So bear with me for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up as well, so we can have a look at what's going on. And yeah, just go ahead and get that footage going, please, producer. All right, so we're just, as I say, volcanoes and UFOs have a relationship with one another. And in this footage, we should be seeing, and we're skipping around a little bit because there's footage of UFOs either flying through the volcanic plumes. That's an interesting one right there, whatever the heck that is, hovering to the right of the volcano. I mean, it might be just a little bit of moisture on the camera lens or something like that, perhaps. But nevertheless, a lot of UFO sightings. Look at the laser there. Also, you may have noticed just a little while ago, a laser suddenly blasts out of an erupting volcano, which is a strange thing. Perhaps a laser, of course, laser pointers, laser of some kind being shot in front of the volcano. But if that were the case, we should have seen the laser all the way through from the bottom of the frame to the top, and yet we didn't. It's almost as if the laser were coming out of the crater, which is a very, very strange thing indeed. All right, so we're continuing, and again, keep in mind all of this That's interesting. Again, this streak across the sky. It appears to be maybe some sort of cylindrical object, again, stretching out because of the frame rate, perhaps having an impact on that. That's, again, some fascinating stuff that you get from this. And I wouldn't have taken a lot of this seriously in the past until I saw this famous Mount Etna footage from the Pentagon. Thank you so much, John Morgan, for the tenor. I really appreciate your support. The super chats coming in today are so incredibly helpful. As I say, I wouldn't have taken the whole volcano UFO thing very seriously until the Mount Etna thing. And even though Arrow says that it was an object that was much closer to the drone that was filming it than it appeared to be, there were several independent groups who analyzed the footage, and they came to very different conclusions. And they thought that the object was flying directly through the volcanic plume, which shouldn't be an easy thing to do, especially not being impacted by the atmospherics. So all that very interesting. And again, we're continuing. Boy, that's a neat one. It looks like a meteor, I suppose. It depends, I guess, on how much time is passing. It appears to be okay. It's slowed down, and it's 1 second per frame here. So that looks like a meteor to me, but let's go ahead and see what happens to it. Oh, more than one. Now that's intriguing, to have more than one meteor in the same frame. That's an unusual thing. And then to have the meteor either impact or pass directly behind the active crater. That's a fascinating piece of footage. Again, very interesting. Again, maybe a meteor, I suppose. Maybe not. Oh, wow. And look at that. A bright orb up and over. I haven't seen any of this, by the way. This is my first time watching this stuff. It's just fascinating. That bright orb going from the flying up from the volcano. Okay, this is, they're closing in on that there. The morphology of the orb is strange. It's as if it's made up of multiple lights, not just one light. Boy, that's intriguing. Fascinating piece of footage. Okay, this is some very clear volcanic eruption footage. Very, very good quality footage. And I'm wondering what we're going to get out of that, if we're going to see something unusual here. Up here. Now, there might have been something that happened and I just didn't notice it. Okay. So, all right, we're going to go back and look at this one more. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yes, something comes in from the left. Good eye, producer ASN. They spotted this. Yep, something comes in from the left-hand side, and it kind of looks like one of those jellyfish UFOs. Wow, that's fascinating. Now, of course, it could be a bug that's much closer to the camera lens, and then it went through the smoke plume. It either went through the smoke plume or in front of it, perhaps. It might be a bug of some kind that's closer to the camera lens, but still fascinating. All right, we're going to have a look at it again. Producer is interested in this one. So am I, for that matter. Okay, we're going to have a look. Boy, that's fascinating. What an interesting shape. And then it goes through the plume and then emerges right out of the other side. It changes. The morphology changes. Is that what you said? Fascinating. Oh, so it starts out as a jellyfish UAP, and then it changes into a bright orb by the time it emerges on the other side. That's fascinating. That's and once again, this is a high quality piece of footage. So I tend to trust what we're seeing here. I don't think we're looking at artifacts or things that are out of focus or anything like that. This is a very good quality piece of footage. Boy, that's intriguing. Going from jellyfish morphology. Oop, they're backing it up now. So there's the orb that comes out the other side, but it starts out as what appears to be maybe a jellyfish configuration, jellyfish morphology. Wow, that is really intriguing. Neat stuff. Neat stuff indeed. It's been some time since. Okay, there's the original. All right, we're waiting for it to come through here. All right. Up there it goes again. Zoom. Now, again, that looks maybe like a bird. You go see perhaps wings flapping, but the fact that it hits the plume and then changes into something else, that is what is most intriguing. That's just fascinating. And yeah, it's true. It wouldn't be a drone. It shouldn't be a bird. I mean, if it were anything mundane, it has to be something much closer to the camera lens than the footage. So I don't know. Oh, here's another one. Okay. The Canary Islands, perhaps. Boy, what a spectacular eruption that is. Again, looks like time lapse photographer, time lapse footage, maybe. Up, yeah, on the left hand side, there's this little black object. Right. It starts to come down from the top center, and then it maneuvers off to the left. Wow. Again, I've never seen this footage before, folks. So this is new to me, as it is to you folks. You can see it just going down the left-hand side, following the slope of the volcano, but still above it. Boy, that's intriguing. That is intriguing, whatever the heck that is. All right, so here we go. We're seeing if we can get a different look at it now. Wow, that is such spectacular footage. Okay, here it comes. It drops down from this on the left-hand side, of the summit of the volcano, and then it swoops down, essentially down following the contours of the mountain. Wow. That's intriguing. Yeah, it can't be a lava bomb or anything like that, because a lava bomb would just plummet straight down. So this is something that's flying, perhaps affected by the wind or something. That could be, but again, depending on, yeah, moves off to the left. Boy, that is just intriguing. Very intriguing. Yeah, maybe they are refueling. Maybe they get energy off of volcanoes somehow. They're able to harness some of the energy coming off of it. I don't know. Again, there's no reason why a human manufactured machine of any kind would come anywhere near an active volcano. Okay, now this is a volcano that is not active, or it's at least not erupting. And then something happens here. I'm watching. It's hard to spot these things because they're always so far away. An orb emerges from that. There it is. An orb emerges from the center of the crater. From the top, there it goes, and then makes its way up. That's of course, it could be a wide variety of things in the crater of a volcano that's not currently erupting. But wow, it continues to ascend, though. Is that what we're seeing here? It continues. It continues to go up and up. That is intriguing. That is very intriguing. Wow, man, that's some astonishing stuff as well. I have to admit. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Yet another. I assume this must be in Mexico, given the name of the volcano. Not too familiar with volcanoes in Mexico, Colombia, or any of those other regions. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Something else again emerges from the crater. Although it looks, I don't know, that the little bit of the glinting in the morphology as it flies away looks like wings flapping. That oftentimes is but again, at that distance, to see something like that, it would have to be an enormous bird. Okay. Wow. Yes. Flying off to the left. Man. Yeah, again, at that immense distance. If it is a bug, then we should see it. We should see it. As some evidence of it. I wonder some evidence of it against the volcano before. I mean, in other words, it's not emerging from the crater. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, it has to be. Right. Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's emerging. It looks like it's coming from behind the mountain or from inside the crater. It really doesn't look like that it's closer to us because we would see evidence of it. Okay, let's see if it vanishes. Wow, that's interesting. According acco- According to my producer, the pixelation of the object matches the pixelation of the clouds and such, indicating that it's not edited in or CGI or anything along those lines. It's intriguing. At this distance, yeah, at this distance, we wouldn't be able to see a bird or a bug. It's way too big for that. Oh, okay. Now we're actually getting a rough size here. So about 10 meters, maybe 15, something like that. About 15 meters in length, assuming that it's that distance. Wow, this is thorough. I have to admit, this is some thorough footage that they got here. 15 meters in length, so bigger than any bird in existence. You would have to be a pteranodon or something like that, a long extinct prehistoric reptile, the Quetzalcoatl or something like that. Um, Anybody remember that old movie Q, that horror movie? Oh wow, and they even give a morphology estimate of it, like it's a okay. Erica, we go. I love these orbs. I love these bright lights that don't like blink or anything like that. Yes, and again, Jenined, right? We have Topsy X commenting. This is Jenined UFO research that provided this. Once again, we are using this footage with his permission. And we want to make sure that we promote him as much as possible. His channel, Jenined UFO Research, just make sure to look that up. And again, the best way to support him is on Patreon because his channel was demonetized for some reason. So as a result, the only way he gets any support for what he does is on Patreon. Wow, just these orbs and emerging from these volcanoes. It's just fascinating, fascinating stuff. Really intriguing. Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's another very bright orb. And then what happens to it? It just vanishes right behind the volcano. Now, is that no, no, that couldn't be. I was thinking maybe that's reverse footage and a lava bomb being thrown out or something, but no, it wouldn't glow that brightly. And also, it isn't reverse footage because you can see the smoke and the gas rising from the mountains. There's no way that could be reverse footage. I mean, it could be something CGI related or something along those lines, but wow, wow, wow. Yep, good point. 15 meters length of a semi truck with a trailer. Fascinating. Fascinating stuff. So again, vanishing behind the mountain. Wow. Again, I mean, maybe CGI, I guess. Okay, so we're seeing it from a wider angle now. Wow. It just vanishes behind the mountain. Very clear. Okay, well, now what are we going to do? Volcano from a very great distance, perhaps? Or is this Iceland? And then all this up. Oh, yeah, okay. What's that? Kind of looks like a Tic-tac UFO. Sort of elongated white. object. Man, that is intriguing. I'm not sure if this was filmed in Iceland. Oh, wow. Look at that. Very much like a Tic-tac UFO. Fascinating. Iceland. Okay, so Jenined confirms that it was Iceland, which is why it's in this footage, in the volcano footage. Another bright orb. Very, very intriguing. By the way, Jenined is in the chat with us. And so tell you, click on his link and support him. He digs everywhere to find this stuff. It's amazing how he puts all this stuff together. And again, he's demonetized, so the only way he gets any support is on Patreon. Keep that in mind. I have an advantage that he doesn't, because I'm still getting monetization on my channel. It is time for a full disclosure from the Trump administration, especially since he told us we were going to get it. And yet, by the way, I've seen nothing new from Arrow. Arrow hasn't released anything since early January, and they would be the ones who should be releasing this stuff if things were going to get declassified. I'm not saying anything about the Iran war. That has nothing to do with my channel. I don't like wars. We'll put it that way. It's too bad. Regardless, I'm not going to say if it's necessary, unnecessary, whatever. I have no position on it. So I just hope it stops, like all wars. Okay. Interesting. Wow, that streak, that's whatever it was, moving quickly. And another tic-tac, elongated white UFO. Boy, very, very interesting. By the way, we are only going to see a small percentage of these. This is a very long video, and we're only going to be live for about the next 8 or 9 minutes. So if you want to see the whole thing, you need, once again, go to Jenined's channel and support him on Patreon. He has plenty of stuff that's free, but the real good long form stuff is in his Patreon gallery. Wow, that is intriguing. Okay, so what do we got now? It's a very, very distant volcano. So maybe this one doesn't have as much to do with the volcano. Yeah. Right. Oh, there's an orb coming out of the right-hand side of the volcano. My God, how is it even visible at this distance? It would have to be enormous to be visible. That is intriguing. Yeah, I mean, it has to be closer to the camera than the mountain. I mean, that mountain is tremendously distant. Right. Oh, wow. That is ridiculously bright. My God. There's no way that's the same distance as the mountain. Whoa, look at that. What a ridiculously bright. Okay, that would have to be something that thousands of people would see. I'm curious about that particular sighting, and if there's any sort of independent confirmation that there was something there, something that bright and that obvious. All right, this little orb descending down towards an erupting volcano. Wow. We're taking it very, very slowly here. Again, descending right. Yep, straight into the plume. Wow. Okay, go. Not an erupting volcano, but again, yeah, okay. Descending down from the left, or from about the center of the screen down towards the right, reaches the mountain, and there it goes. Just vanishes. Doesn't seem like anything that's okay. So, all right, here it comes. All right, so it descends downward. Boy, that would have to be huge if it's at the same distance as the mountain. Just colossal. And then see what happens to it. It just vanished partially into the clouds. Wow. Oh, what a dramatic explosion. Cinder cone. Looks like a cinder cone volcano. Whoa. And then there it goes. There it went. Wow. Zoom. Okay. What a dramatic explosion there. And then it goes, this very bright light just goes blasting by, and it was behind. It could have been a meteor, perhaps. Very bright meteor, but it could have been a meteor, I suppose. I don't know. All right. It's fairly recent footage here, just a couple of years ago. All right, there. Where does it ascend from? Okay, so it comes out. Let's see what it does. Got an orb emerging. Again, this could be a lava bomb of some kind. It depends on what it does. Continues the ascent. All right. Very interesting. But how far does it get in the footage? And then what happens to it? So it ascends, goes and goes. My God, doesn't stop. I mean, lava bombs can ascend so high up into the atmosphere that they cool in the atmosphere and descend down as instead of lava, they're rocks. So, okay, here's another one. Boy. All right, so watching whoa, and then that orb emerges from the volcanic plume. Seems to be a lot of these, a lot of orbs popping out of active volcanoes. Wow. Okay, so this one would assume July eruption. I'm not sure how they do the dating on that one, if it's European dating or American dating. Let's see here. Waiting to see what happens here. This doesn't appear to be erupting. Could be active, just not erupting. That's probably just clouds collected at the summit. Oh, what are we seeing? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Something hovering above the clouds, it looks like. Boy, I tell you, sharp eyes to spot this stuff. The people who go through this footage and presumably go through lots and lots and lots of footage to find these things. Just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. By the way, folks, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. It's fortunately the for a while my subscriber base was shrinking a little bit, which has never happened before, and it's now heading the other way, thank God. Never a good sign if you start losing subscribers, and I'm not even sure why, but in any event, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Means a lot. Ball lightning or being said, there's a lot of things we don't know about ball lightning. It's even some just debate as to whether or not it's real. Wow, what a dramatic eruption there. And what are we looking for? Oh, look, there it is flying in front of the plume. Wow, fascinating. And again, unfortunately, we've got all that lettering and numbering in front of us, so it's impossible to see anything as it passes behind that, sadly. But then again, this footage wasn't captured to find UFOs. Thanks, Nom X, for the subs. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm getting a better. Oh, there it goes. Something emerging from the left. Looks like. I know. All right, here's another one. I wonder if we're going to get another orb out of this one. We see these eruption footage with this kind of lighting. Oftentimes, it is an orb that emerges. Rydell Liger, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, there we go, boy, like a whole formation of them. Wow. Just streaming out one after another. That's fascinating. It's at least a dozen, maybe more. They just keep going. Wow. That is just intriguing. No, I've never seen the Brown Mountain lights. I don't even know what those are. There's so many things I don't know about ufology. I have to admit, I'm a bit of an amateur in many ways. For me, it's mostly I take individual cases and footage and try to look at it from a scientific perspective. Investigate all of the facts and then come to conclusions on that. Boy, that's intriguing. I agree. That's not Starlink. Starlink doesn't travel that way. Wow, look at that one. This is all the way back in 2012. This very, very bright. I guess it could be a streak, depending on the speed of the footage caused by a meteor. There's something very similar happening, unless it's the same volcano from a different angle. Okay. No. And again, another orb descending towards an active volcano. Wow. And then another orb. So two. When you get multiple orbs in the same footage, that's when things really start getting interesting. And pass behind the mountain. It's not even all that close. All this stuff has to be just insanely bright or big. Very, very intriguing indeed. And we're going to go ahead and wrap it up with this next one, producer. This will be our last one. That very, very bright cylinder, or could be an effective time exposure moving across the sky. Really intriguing stuff. Again, all the same volcano. Oh, they're calling to attention. All right, you have a little bit of a bright orb that comes into view for a moment, maybe right before the really bright cylinder goes zooming by. Mike, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Formation of super chats. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Yep, that little tiny orb just peeking out from behind the mountain. Well, folks, I would love to do this with you all day, but unfortunately, we have to go at this point. I have a plane to catch, and I need to. Wow, look at that! Look at that orb! Oh my God, that's spectacular! All right, as I say, I could do this all day, but I've got to get a cab to Denver International Airport and catch my flight. So I've got to be going. I'm on my way to London once again to attend the Space Com conference, where I'm going to get caught up on a lot of European space flight stuff. Hopefully a launch out of Britain this year. That's what I'm hoping for, is to get a launch date out of Saxavord for Rocket Factory Augsburg, who, by the way, just completed their launch tower, including the second stage umbilicals, everything necessary to launch a big rocket. They've got everything they need there now. I've got an insider source on the island there who sends me photos from time to time, and they've been very busy. So in any event, folks, thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed this. I plan to do more of these as time goes on, and do not forget to support our friend Jenined. Just find him in the chat and click on his little logo, and you'll go straight to his channel. And please consider supporting him on Patreon, because that's how he stays in operation. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, stay angry about space.